moment now, we are expecting to see Donald Trump take that stage that you were looking at right now in Las Vegas after he spent much of the day ranting while in Battleground, Nevada, spewing some of his darkest rhetoric that we've heard from him this campaign cycle. For starters, he's vowing mass deportations for people who are in this country legally as he continues to target and demonize Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. Despite threats directed towards Springfield City Hall or its schools, Trump refused to back down from his baseless lies today.
There are bomb threats at schools and kids being evacuated. Why do you still spread this false story?
The real threat is what's happening at our border. Those are your real problems.
Just swatting that question about bomb threats on schools right away as he continued to fan the flames with this claim.
We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. It's like an invasion from within. The largest deportation in the history of our country. And we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora.
Those immigrants in Springfield that he's talking about sending back to Venezuela are from Haiti, and they are here in the United States legally. Meanwhile, two Republican officials in Aurora have said his claims about what's happening in that city are overstated. In that same press conference today, though, Trump declined to denounce the racist anti-Semite that he has been traveling across the country with. That's Laura Loomer, the 9/11 conspiracy theorist who was with Donald Trump this 9/11.
Laura's been a supporter of mine, just like a lot of people are supporters. I don't control Laura. Laura has to say what she wants.
Your allies have
free
expressed
spirit.
concern.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, I can't tell Laura what to do.
Laura Loomer was traveling with you on your plane.
Okay, a lot of people do. It's a very big
She's been traveling
plane.
with you. She made racist remarks about your opponent. She also espoused conspiracy theories about 9/11. Do you disavow those remarks? And
Well, I have to
why-
see what the remarks are.
A short while after that, Trump posted on Truth Social saying that Loomer doesn't work for his campaign, which it was not reported that she did, and also said he disagrees with her statements, though he declined to say which ones. On the other side of the campaign trail tonight, Vice President Harris is back in Pennsylvania, visiting two counties that Trump won overwhelmingly in 2016 and 2020, hammering her opponent while on the ground. We'll talk more about what she said while there in a moment, but my lead source tonight is CNN political analyst and senior political correspondent for the New York Times, Maggie Haberman. And Maggie, hearing Trump talk about what he amplified to 70 million people on Tuesday night, this false claim about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, now he's mixing that with his pledge to carry out mass deportations in a second term. But I mean, these are people who have temporary protected status. They are here legally in the United States.
They do. And, you know, it has been, we have reported, my colleagues Jonathan Swan and Charlie Savage and I have reported that as part of his vow to go through with mass deportations, and he's been talking about this now for some time, they would try to end TPS status for a lot of people. So this is actually in keeping with it, although, as you note, he seemed not certain what country they were from, and it's not Venezuela, it's Haiti. It's not surprising. You are correct that it is mixing in a bunch of different threads, and all it is trying to do is suggest people should be afraid of these immigrants. And it is something we have seen him do over a long period of time, and people spend time trying to fact check him, and by the time that's done, you know, the lie he is saying or the, you know, misleading statement he is saying is already well down the street.
Right. And to this point, I was talking to Pete Buttigieg last night. He was appearing as a campaign surrogate, not as transportation secretary. He thinks this is all just a big distraction technique. This was his argument.
This is a strategy. And there's even more to it than demonizing immigrants, although that's obviously part of what he's doing. This is a strategy to get us talking about the latest crazy thing that he did, whatever urban legend he amplifies. Right now, it's about people eating cats or geese or whatever, because he cannot afford for us to be talking about his record.
You know, there's always a lot of talk about, is Trump playing chess or checkers? Are we all just kind of falling for it? You've often reported it's actually not some grand strategy behind the scenes. What is your sense of what this actually is.
So I think one of the most important quotes that was ever said about Donald Trump as president was by someone who told BuzzFeed that everybody thinks this is 3D chess, but most of the time he's eating the pieces. And I think that is worth bearing in mind a lot. I do think that he is intentionally trying to get people to talk about this. That's definitely true, but it's not because there's been some large discussion necessarily about it being great politics, although his vice presidential running mate has been talking about this too. It's not like this is being offered to him by some person far afield in his campaign, and he's just grabbing on it. He likes talking about these things. He likes creating controversy. He likes being the center of attention. I think the secretary is incorrect that this is some strategy to distract from his record, but I do think that it is a strategy to just try to drive news cycles.
Did they think it's helpful at all inside the Trump campaign that it's putting a focus back on immigration, and we're talking about the impact that the 20,000 legal migrants have had on a city like Springfield?
Yeah, 100%. They think this is actually good politics for them. They think this is advisable to be talking about immigrants. I think that, left to their own devices, some of them would not have liked to have seen the cats discussion or the eating the pets from the debate stage. But they do think in general, anything that highlights immigration as a controversial topic is good for them, no matter how much race baiting is part of it.
Well, I mean, and speaking of controversial topics, he spent half that press conference today talking about this, and then also Laura Loomer, who has been traveling around with him. We talked about the fact that she was at the 9/11 memorials with him on Tuesday, on the 23rd, on Wednesday, on the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. And it's caused quite a moment where he was getting like 10 questions on this earlier, where reporters were saying what she has said in the past, that she thought 9/11 was an inside job, for example.
Right.
And he was saying, oh, well, I'm not familiar with her past statements. What do you make of what he said on Truth Social tonight about her?
Well, so a couple of things. To the question of, is this a strategy? I mean, no, oftentimes these are just things he wants to talk about. And sometimes they align with good politics and sometimes they don't. And, however controversial they may be or offensive they may be, in this case, there's nothing especially good politically about talking about the idea that 9/11 was an inside job, a few days after the 23rd anniversary. What I saw he posted on Truth Social is that she's not employed by the campaign and that, she doesn't work for him, but she's a strong supporter, and that's what what he's happy she's standing up for, although I don't think he overtly says that. But that is the point, right? I mean, she was supposed to get a job with the campaign last year. They rescinded it when we reported on it, or I don't even know how far down the road it was, but they were making plans to hire her. They decided not to move ahead with that because she's controversial. However, she's around him not infrequently. He clearly likes her. He clearly wants to see what she will say. Donald Trump, as some of the people who have known him the longest have often said, likes people who will do anything for him. And that is something Laura Loomer will do.
So is that why he likes her? Because she's basically willing to do whatever for him?
She praises him, and she sees herself as his biggest defender, and she will go after people who are critical of him, on social media, and he likes all of that. Today
he called her a free spirit and a supporter, though he claimed to not know what she had said. It's like a pattern of every time he gets asked about someone who is controversial. Just take a look at these other moments when he's been asked about this.
I don't know what she said.
I don't know who the Proud Boys are.
Just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay?
I mean, he tried to pull that when he had dinner with Nick Fuentes, an avowed white supremacist at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, this is a pattern that we do see.
This is a go-to move for almost anything that he wants to not claim ownership of, be it people who are controversial, like the figures you just said, be it people who were employed by him, who he fired or he dismissed, hardly know him, barely worked here for a short period of time. He is a man of few moves that he uses over and over again, and the goal with all of these is to try to insulate himself and not be tied to it.
He said today he might do a second debate with Harris if he's in a better mood. What's your sense in your reporting of whether or not he's going to actually do one?
I think it's not likely. I think that if the polling doesn't really change in one direction or another, I think that he will stay where he is. If it changes toward him, then I really don't think he will. I don't expect we're going to see some massive polling swing just because the country is so polarized, but we won't know until next week whether the vice president got a bump. I do think that his statement yesterday that there will be no more debates was taken a wee bit too ironclad for somebody who said the ABC debate was terminated before agreeing to it again and then thinking about dropping out and then showing up.
I've heard things are not great inside the campaign. What are you hearing about what it's actually like behind the scenes with his officials?
He brought on Corey Lewandowski, who was his campaign manager in 2016, for whom he has enormous fondness. He told Olivia Nuzzi at New York Magazine that he likes him. He's a character, or I just like him, I think was the quote. But Lewandowski has sharp elbows, and I don't know that it's exactly clear how things are going there right now.
Maggie Haberman, thank you for starting us off.